Alrighty, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's having a lovely week. And with that being said, let's get into the weekly update. Alright, guys, before we get started, if you are finding value in the content that we provide to you guys for absolutely no cost to you, then yeah, support the channel with a like. I would appreciate it a lot and would definitely be putting a smile on my face. Let's get into it. Let's run through things pretty quick here. Give a brief little rundown of the possible scenarios for the upcoming week, starting off with the weekly time frame. All right, so over here, I'm just going to point out you do have this, of course, it freaking pops up, right? You do have the decreasing buy volume as you have price making higher highs 2 weeks in a row now off of declining volume. We did have that same setup over here, and then you had the rug pulled. There was that. There was one more occurrence right here. All right, you had decreasing volume these 2 weeks there, and then you had the rug pulled over there. We did have that not too long ago over here. You did not have the rug pulled, but you did decide to go stall out and trade flat for a few weeks there. And we have actually broken out of that range there on QQQ, but we have not on SPY. We've been in the same range here on SPY and SPX for 6 weeks now. So I do think we're going to have a big break in one direction or the other. I'm going to say right now, I do think that's going to be to the downside. That is what I am thinking is going to be happening. And I'm going to go over why pretty quick here, why I think they're going to save that big move for the downside. All right, guys. So first things first, guys, sellers have, they've defended this blue box for quite some time now. Quite some time they've defended this. I went over this in Friday's video. All right, they marked their territory, they peed on their tree, and they defended their tree. Like, I think it's been like 13 times or something like that. All right, crazy. But they are viciously defending this territory. Why? Because above there, that is where they get squoze. That is where they're forced to cover. All right, if they have risk management protocols, all right, it's probably going to be put into action up there. So they don't want to get up there. That is what's taking place. All right. Over here on the daily time frame, we do have increasing sell volume over here on QQQ. That does suggest that sellers are going to be getting their way either with a gap down or a move under Friday's low, which the low of day on Friday was 322.94. So just something to throw in there right there. All right. You do have the CCI up here, hinged down right above the sell momentum line over there. What I want to point out over here on the weekly time frame is that your RSI is literally in the same spot that it was at right up here. So, like, technically you started your sell-off up here. I get it. That was the high. But you actually started the violent selling right here. All right. When you just kept going down. Started right here. Your RSI at the peak right here was at 61. All right, so right here, yeah, so it's 61.16. Over here, guys, we're at 62. So that tells me that we have the most amount of room to fall that we've had the whole bear market. And if your RSI right here was at 61, and then this followed, and that followed that, and then that followed that, like, guys, we're setting up for, you have potential to fall. You have room to fall now. All right, so just thought I'd bring that up as well. And yeah, there's not really much I can point out on the daily time frame that's really going to paint this picture. It's same exact thing. All right, guys, same thing I was watching for last week. The only thing that's really relevant is going to be the volume on the daily time frame, and then it's going to be this RSI. If we see the RSI ticking on up where it was over here at, what is this, 68.48, then yeah, I'm gonna sit there calling top. I'm gonna be like, hey, all right, very likely we are about to start declining from here. If you do see the RSI ticking on up into 68.48, I don't think that divergence is going to be formed. We haven't had a divergence. We literally, not the entire time, you have not had a divergence form on the daily RSI since the exact top up here. So yeah, I do think it's going to be held. We now have the triple bearish divergence going on. We actually have this on Apple. I think you have it on Microsoft as well. All right, but you have it from here to here to here to here, actually. So you have a triple bearish divergence going on. All right, Microsoft over here, you have going from here to there. So you got that going on. Let's see, do we have anything over on Google? No, you do not, but you do have Google's RSI coming up and hitting overbought territory as of the other day. And you don't have any resistance. I mean, you had this little one right here around 118. But you don't have any clear as day resistance until 123.26, which was the August high. Speaking of the August high, QQQ is right up in between the August high and that 322.8 gap fill that we talked about all those weeks ago. All right, so this was the probable scenario all along, and I'm just going to tell you guys right now, yeah, all right, nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing has changed, right? I get it. It took a lot longer than what we thought was going to be going down. But guess what? Your boy has reminded you on every single dip that it was most likely a bear trap. I remind you on that dip. I remind you on that dip. I remind you on this dip. I don't remember if I remind you on this dip, but you know, I do know for a fact I was still saying the natural path for price was going to be up. But yeah, guys, we've been nailing price action, guys. Please show the support for the channel if you do appreciate what we've been doing here, because honestly, it's been amazing. All right, it has been amazing. Now, I'm actually going to tell you guys right now. I don't know if your boy is going to be on Webull anymore. I did just post this week's weekly update over on Twitter, so I'm going to be starting to post all of them there now that Elon has taken off the like, you used to have a cap on how many characters you could use over there, and now I can have unlimited characters. So the only limiting factor is that I only can post 4 pictures on each post over there, so I'm going to have to start writing them over on Twitter so I could fit that format. So yeah, go follow the Twitter for the written updates. They will be out on a daily basis, and they will be consistently over there on Twitter. Currently, I reached out to the Webull team. I can't post on my account. I can't post on any of my accounts actually on Webull that are all linked with the trader Henry J name, which I'm guessing it's because I've been advertising my YouTube channel. But yeah, I don't get, like, they give no incentive for people to build up a following over there. And like, yeah, now I see they just want to shove you off. But yeah, I don't know if that's directly the reason, but another thing could be like, hey, Webull is like kind of the place to go if you're like a noob. You go, that's the first place you go. You download Webull, and you kind of just try and see what everyone else is doing. All right. And I have kind of been, you know, publicly nailing things for quite some time over there on Webull. So maybe the big dogs are taking notice, and they're like, you know what, we can't have this guy making it so these guys don't just like lose all of their money continuously with us. All right, so maybe that's another reason, but yeah, it's probably because I've been advertising the YouTube channel in the comment section over there, doing that. But I mean, yeah, so like, hey, we're probably going to have to go build up Twitter. I don't really know another platform that I really can do it on. I'm not going to post to 2 platforms. I just will not something that I'm going to be consistent with. If I do that, I'm not going to make this something that is tough on me to put together. All right, these Webull updates are something that I can put together on my phone, put together on my iPad when I get home from the work each night. It takes 30 to 60 minutes or so. And yeah, I'm just like, I remember Substack, that was tough to actually try and like consistently post there, as well as the Webull. I just would forget sometimes, but also Substack, like, you had to, you know, it took time to actually put it together, unlike Webull. Like, it was just, hey, you take your screenshots, post your screenshots, write out what you're talking about, and you hit post. That was it. So yeah, all right, they're gonna be there somewhere on some platform. I'll keep you guys posted, but for now, all right, Twitter link is down below, and you guys can go check them out there. All right, there's that. But yeah, getting back into the charts, guys. So you do have increasing sell volume over here, it looks like, on SPY as well. 70 million. Yeah, you do have increasing sell volume, so that is the thing as well. All right, so the volume on QQ and SPY are both suggesting that you will be sellers will be getting their way come Monday, so that is something to know. All right, so let's take a look at the lower time frames. I'm going to point out that NDQ, QQQ, SPY, and ES all broke down from these rising wedges, and they are actually backtesting these rising wedges. We have SPY, well, QQ isn't. QQ had this small one going on right here, which we actually can have that as well. All right, and technically, like, we're back testing that as well, but that is not the wedge that I had on my chart, so we're not going to be using that. But it would be that right there, and yeah, we'll just change the colors. You guys can really see that right there. All right, you can see the white lines right there, but we're going to take that off our chart because we don't need it. All right, it is not it's not needed. It's just going to add more clutter, and we got what we need over here on ES and SPY. In NDQ. All right, NDQ is back testing that rising wedge as well. But right here on ES, I want to point out that you did have the hourly close underneath this range down here, which, does show, to me at least, that suggests there's weakness. Now, you did also break this trend line that is the bottom of the rising wedge. And now you were sitting here back testing it, and sellers are stepping up to the plate on that back test, which, again, that is another sign of weakness. All right, so let me, before I go any further, let me point out my probable scenario this week. All right, this is my probable scenario. Everything you find here on this channel is 100% speculation. It's all my opinions, but they're here. What are these guys barking at out there? I don't know. All right, probable scenario right here. All right, you go down. You find buyers around the 407 gap fills. They take you up. You go on up to the blue box up here. All right, and then they take you down to end the week out with this starting this sell-off that gets you ready for the following week. All right, so May 19, guys. May 19 is a big monthly OPEX. They did the same thing at the Feb top, where they just literally traded you flat up here going into that OPEX, and they started your decline one day before the OPEX. If they could do it back there, why is it going to be different this time around? Just literally, why is it going to be different? All right, and I'm also going to point out, guys, they have been avoiding a drop under 400 for weeks now. All right, we're at the last week that they have to do so. Why, if they've gone this far, why are they going to let all these puts under 400 get paid out? It makes absolutely no sense to me. So, yeah, I'm just going to say right now, I'm going to make the call right now. I don't think you go under 400 this week. That is my call for the week. And yeah, there's that. It's just, it makes no sense. Guys, look at this. What are these explosive moves back up? They got like right over here because, like, hey, you literally broke the bottom of the range. You had this range. It was a trap. All right, guess what? You broke down. You found support literally right at the same spot you did over there. All right. But guess what? All right, they still avoided that move down to 400. All right, why have they been avoiding that move? Because, yeah, they've been avoiding paying them out. I've been talking about it. I've been the guy reminding you guys, hey, on each one of these dips, hey, nothing has changed. You still have, like, the natural path for price is going to be up as you're coming down into support and stuff like that, just because you don't have that black swan catalyst to force the dealer's hand. And the dealers are either going to be squeezing or they're going to be doing the squeezing. And why would they want to get squoze? All right. If you do see a move under 400, just know it's because the dealers just flip short so they do not lose money. And then that's going to cause an explosive move to the downside. But to have that explosive move to the downside this week, you're going to need that black swan catalyst. Without the black swan catalyst, this week is not going to be any different from the past few weeks, in that the dealer is going to defend their territory. You have the sellers up here at SPY defending their territory. Well, guess what? The dealers do not want you coming back down here, right? So that is why the probable scenario is like how it is, all right? If you do get a move down here, I think you're going to set yourself up for one explosive-ass move, and your boy will be taking his shot at calls down here, all right? Now, we do have the 4-hour CCI over in oversold territory, but what I want to focus on here is the 4-hour RSI on SPY and QQQ. They are right in the middle here, which suggests we can go either way to start off the week. So I'm not going to really, I'm not going to make a projection to start off the week. I mean, I guess I don't really make any projections here on the channel. I just kind of deal with the probable scenarios. Like if you see this, all right, that's going to happen. All right, if you see that, that's likely going to be the case. All right. If you see a move down to start the week, all right, it's likely that this becomes the case. You get buyers. All right. I'm also going to show you guys, hey, we still have clears that buyers step in. Who cares who the buyers are? All right. Are they the dealers? Are they? I don't know. Like, who cares who they are? All right. They're still stepping up. All right. Is it short saying, oh, crap, let me cover. Again, who cares who they are? They're stepping up. All right, you have buyers stepping up here. You have buyers stepping up here. You have buyers stepping up here. 3 out of 3 dips, they stepped up. All right, they're not letting you come back down here. Now, if you do end up getting back down there, again, I think you're going to have like one explosive bounce because the dealers are not going to let you come down here. All right, the closer you get down there, the riskier it becomes. You see this explosive move back up? You see how you just got a little move here? You got a little move here? Well, it wasn't this. It wasn't this. It's because you had nothing holding you up down here. You had the gap fill, right? So there was the 404 gap fill down there. It's not on a chart over there, but it was created somewhere over there. But yeah, they had nothing supporting you down there. If you start getting down there, that's when you got the risk of that gamma squeeze I was just talking about. So it would be a gamma squeeze to the downside because of, let me just, oh, I can't show you. My Elgato is, I updated it last night and then now it's just not working on me. So, oh well, all right, no Elgato today. Oh well. But yeah, guys, you already started this breakdown, so I do think you're probably going to continue down. I think you're going to start the week off. Like, that's, you know, like if I had to say, that's why the probable scenario starts with us going down there, and then there, and then there. Because if you risk going up here, I think you just get something like that. All right, let's look at this. We got two scenarios to start off the week, all right? We're going to say this, all right? Now that I'm thinking about it, you really only have two. And here it is, all right? One, come down here. Coming down here, or are you coming up here? Ending the week out right here. All right. I know we went over to Monday, but you know, now let's change that over to yellow. All right. Now let's do a different path, guys. Different path. You going up. Now I think this is a less likely probable scenario, but I want to cover my ass in case we do get up there and people aren't just like, hey, you're completely wrong. All right. I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to be looking for if we get up here. All right. I'm going to guess sellers are going to viciously shove you down again. All right, and you probably don't find support. You probably don't make the higher high. You probably break it somewhere down here. Maybe come down here. It's still going to come down to the 407. And then boom, they're still going to bring you up to 410. All right, it is in the dealer's best interest to close you above 410 and under 411. As of right now, that is just the dealer's best interest. All right, that is that. Now, why is that? It's because that's where, you know, you have, like, that's where the dealers have to pay out the least amount of people. All right, under 410, that's where the puts get heavier. Over 411, that's where the call side gets heavier. So, yeah, in the end, this is still where the dealer gets to make the most amount of money. And they typically end up winning. Notice how we've been trading flat for weeks on end? All right, well, guess what? It's because the dealer doesn't want to pay out puts. All right, that's just how it is. Just how it be. Okay. All right. So there we go. There was that. If you do end up, so those are the two scenarios. Let's actually put those back up. All right. And let's draw a third one. Now I'm going to say this is not a probable scenario, but if it happens, I'm ready for it. And this is what I'm going to do about it. All right. If you sink, all right, you sink under these 407 gap fills, you somehow get back down here. This is where I'm going to be pulling my long trigger. All right, right here, I'm going to be this 407 area. I'm also going to be pulling my long trigger. All right, I'm going to be looking for a long setup. I only pull the long trigger if there's a long setup, so keep that in mind. All right, but down here, I'm also going to be, my eyes are going to be wide open for a long setup. I'm ready to pounce. All right, because again, if you get down here, this is where the dealers are probably going to go, whoop, shoot you back up. All right, in a very quick manner. All right. And actually right now I'm just going to mention, guys, I did record this video. It turned into a 38-minute video. Your boy was, you know, I was pissed off that Webull is doing this, but you know, I get it as like their company. I get it. I went against their like guidelines. So I get that. But again, you know, it's whatever. So that video, you know, it was longer and it didn't have to be longer. And I think it was so long because your boy probably spent a decent amount of time talking about his own stuff. So in this video, we focus on the charts. So that is why I I took down that video and I redid the video. All right, there's that. But yeah, these are really the scenarios that I see playing out. I don't see another one happening. All right, I don't see this. All right, I don't see that, because that is when you break above here. And if price action is going to prove to me that you can break up above this blue box here and you have this squeeze, it's on, guys. I've been talking about it, right? This is where you have so much squeeze field. This, you get above here, all right, automatically you're going to have people taking losses on the shorts. That's just what's going to happen. That's going to very quickly boost you up to the 421.22 gap fill if that were to become the case. But I have had no signs here that that is going to be the case. So, and again, like, hey, the dealer's been holding you up here. All right, yes, max pain is for them to just send you up here, just to literally go boom. But it does not align with, you know, all the factors that we have on the board. They've been holding you here. They've been sending you up for weeks here. They've been waiting for these puts to expire. This is the week they expire. All right, if there's going to be a week that we start declining, it's going to be the week after this one, next week. All right, not saying you can't start the decline, you know, at the end of the week this week, but I think they're still going to, you know, as of right now, they're still going to close you around this 410 area. This is going to be that. So if you have a decline to end the week off, you're going to have a rally sometime in the middle of the week. Then they're going to do something like that. All right. So there would be that. Now let's get rid of those. Now that we went over our scenarios, and over here on QQQ, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, right? QQ has not been held back like the other one. So QQ does not have to, like, they can diverge. Okay. Notice how QQ has made a higher high here. It's been quite explosive, where SPY has been just chilling in this range. All right. And that is, that's just because QQ doesn't have the option chain holding it back, guys. It doesn't have all the put open interest. All right. Or the call open. It's just not the one that the dealers are focusing on. At least that's how I've been looking at it. And again, everything I'm saying here, speculation, all my opinions. But I think, like, they're my opinions, so that's why I'm saying them. All right, there's that. But yeah, guys, what I'm going to be watching for over here on QQ is this. All right, scenario number one. Boom. You go up there, you're going to come up here. I don't know if you bounce on up to a new high. I don't know, because that's going to be the same low as over here. Or, so you could go up for the new high, or you could do this. And now you effectively have created your head and shoulders formation, and you're in this narrowing channel / rising wedge. This big one right here, the orange one, which I don't know if it's a rising wedge, but we can call it both. All right, narrowing channel or rising wedge, either way. All right, it's a consolidation pattern. It's getting tighter, and you know they typically like to break down. So I still do think it's going to break down. I don't think you're going to break up from this formation, but yeah, that would effectively put in a head and shoulders there, and then you would be able to you know, go test that support down there, which was also right next to 314.94 gap fill. That is what gave us our entry over here, the 314.94 gap fill. All right, that is what told us, hey, buyers are going to be likely stepping up to the plate down there. So you could end up getting that. So you could get something like that, and you come down and break that, or you can go up to start off the week, and then you could go like this. All right, and that is when, if you go up to start the week, I don't think we're going to spend a lot of time up here. I think it's literally going to be something like this. I think that is, and that's what I was saying. If you can decline, you can start the decline this week at the end of the week, like Thursday and Friday. But if you do so, it's likely going to be that you rally going to start off the week and then you decline. Or if you see the decline just at the beginning of the week, and I'm going to be watching SPY because I know where the SPY options are. I know what I've been paying attention to the dealers. All right. So I'm going to be watching SPY if we see on the decline. If we see the decline, all right, if we see that starting off the week, yeah, I'm going to be looking for that buying pressure going into the second half of the week. All right. So either going to be here or it's either going to be here. All right. Either way, those are your opportunities. Right. And if you come up here, there's your short opportunity again. You get another shot. There you go. But yeah, on QQ for upside. So downside, I'm watching SPY. Upside, I'm going to be watching QQ. I'm going to be watching this trend line up here. And if we do tap it, which is going to be, if we tap it this week, 328. Yeah, 329 to 330 now. All right, 329.50 to 330 if we're tapping it this week. So that's a decent amount of upside there. It's still on the table. And again, like, hey, yeah, if the dealers want to punish the puts the last week, guys, this is exactly what they did over here at the top. All right, they literally went and they shoved you on up the whole week. And then the last 2 days of the week, they dropped you down after a lot of people probably just saw their puts absolutely die off. So like, and then they panic sold. So, you know, I'm just saying they could easily do the same exact thing over here. And yeah. All right, guys, I don't really want to sit here talking in circles, so let's just go over DXY real quick. All right, DXY did have a successful breakout right here. On the weekly chart, you do see we do have this ugly double, not ugly double bottom. We had an even eve double bottom over here. Your neckline is going to be 105.883. The targets on the board, one target is for the rising wedge. One target is going to be for the double bottom. Double bottom target is 111, I believe. The rising wedge target is going to be 109.5, and the second rising wedge target is all the way up here at 114.778. So that is something to be noted. But yeah, you did get the breakout, which does mean we could put the target on the board for the rising wedge. Now what I'm going to be waiting for is a break above right here, above 105.883, and then you have a shot at going on up to hitting the double bottom price target. So that will be a thing as well. And now that we We do have this thing like, yeah, on the weekly chart, it suggests it's just getting warmed up. All right. You have your stochastic CCI and RSI all hinged up from oversold territory. But now you come over here to the daily time frame. You see on the CCI, you're way overextended right there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that back test. On that back test, that is the equity's chances to go up. All right. So you're going to, let's just come back over here, DXY. All right. Over there. All right. So DXY is going to do this, right? That means that equities go like this. That is, so this is equities, this is DXY. All right, so that's what I'm going to be watching for this week. I'm going to be watching for this exact price movement right here, and then maybe it goes a little something like that. Boom, you know. All right, price doesn't go up straight up or down. It's just not something that happens. Sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. Technical analysis, sorry for you. But there you go. That is what I'm going to be watching for. Just know that this is exactly what I was waiting on to really call the, you know, hey, the move down. It's likely about to start. All right. We finally got our breakout. That's what I've been talking about this ever since we came over here. All right. Well, I've been talking about this ever since we came over here and we almost broke out. But then we came over here, called out the double bottom. All right, now we're finally getting that breakout, and we're going to have two price targets to be playing, all right? Either way, we have two patterns here, the double bottom and the falling wedge here, both with a, well, you didn't get a breakout of the double bottom yet, but both structures are bullish. I think this thing goes up, equities get dragged down. That is something to note. All right, the last thing I'll point out over here is NQ. Well, actually, you have Bitcoin. I'll quickly go over that right now. All right, Bitcoin did have a breakdown from this head and shoulders top formation. You do currently have your oscillators in oversold territory, so don't be surprised to see that bounce. All right, but it could be something like that. All right, in the end, 25K is your price target. I do think Bitcoin's going to be coming down, but we will play this one as we go, or we'll chart this one as we go. I'm not playing Bitcoin. All right, you come over here to NQ. This is the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with. NQ on the CCI. This is something I noticed. Okay, so we could just look at all of these different occurrences. You got that going on here, or you have that, you have that, you have that, this occurrence right there. All right, let's just come over here. All right, look it over here, over here, over here, over here. All right. How many occurrences? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 occurrences. All right. How many of those occurrences had that bounce? All right. You have, and we actually, like, we just literally had this bounce. So, like, keep in mind, all right, we could be going down. We're either going to have a decent sized bounce coming out of this, or we're going to have, we're going to go down and form a bullish divergence, and then we're going to have that bounce. All right. Which it aligns with that probable scenario, all right, where we start the week off selling down to 407 over on SPY. But yeah, right here, like this was a scenario where you had this like 0.7% move off the top of my head. No, it was about a 1% move, and then you came down, but then you formed the bullish divergence. But from that bottom, you did move 2% up. All right, this is another thing where, hey, you moved 1.5% up from here. Right here, you moved 1.7% up. Right here, you moved 2% up. Right here, you moved 1.4% up. Right here, you moved 1.8% up. And that is what we're watching, all right? Only one of those occurrences, right, which was this occurrence right here, did price go down to form that bullish divergence, all right? You started the week, well, I don't know if you started the week, but if we're going to mimic that, you're going to start it like that, and then you're going to have something like that, all right? It's going to go like that. Not saying it's going to go like that. I'm just showing you a condition that we have here. All right. Also, you do have your RSI in oversold territory over here. So if I had to take a guess at it, it's probably going to be something like this where, yeah, you either go down, you form the bullish divergence. That gives you a decent sized bounce, or we're going to bounce to start off the week. And that bounce is going to put in a bearish divergence. All right, I forgot to mention, this is something that I'm going to be watching over here on QQ. All right, so this is going to be a signal. If we start the week off moving up, what am I going to be looking for? I'm going to be looking for a move over the high, but I'm going to be looking for it to be a divergent high. All right, so that's what I'm going to be watching on the 4-hour RSI over here on QQ. Jesus. Jesus. All right. And then if we start to move down, what I'm going to be watching for, start to move down to start the week, what I'm going to be watching for is this 1 hour RSI over here, just like we had it marked the bottom over here. For something pretty similar to that, Let's see if we can find another one. I'm guessing there should be another one. We haven't came down in a while. We've been floating up there. All right, over here, I'm guessing we could find one. You know, what have we got right there? Oh, you start making your higher highs there or lows there. All right. So yeah, I'm going to be watching for the 1 hour bullish divergence on SPY down here to form either here, or here. If we start the week off with the decline, all right, and then QQQ, I'm going to be watching that for that 4 hour bearish divergence, likely up here at this trend line if we do, you know, start the week off rallying. But yeah, I think it's most probable that we continue to sell to start the week, and then we get that bounce. That will suck more people in, and then obviously, like what I spoke about in this video, this is the last week. Why are they going to let it drop the last week? Well, a lot of people, anybody who's buying puts on the drop, is not thinking about that. Clear as day, not thinking about that, and that's when they're opening themselves up to the risk of getting their asses squoze. And there you go. All right, we'll be there to play that move. All right, with that being said, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Go check out the written updates over on Twitter. My man Ryan, all right, so this is something I just put out there. This is actually, let's just click on this. All right, so this is my profile over here on Twitter. All right, so I'm going to bring the updates over here, the written updates over here to Twitter. We're going to start seeing how those go. All right, because Webull is, I don't know what they're going to say, but they will not let me post. As of right now, I cannot post or comment over on Webull on my account. So, yeah, there's that. I'm probably going to have to bring it to a different platform. I'll keep you guys updated on that situation. But yeah, with that being said, everyone have a lovely rest of their week, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.